What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer doing the deck profile for Sacred Beast right now. No need to, delay too much longer. We'll just go ahead and go through it. So starting off with the Sacred Beast count, 2 Haman and 1 Raviel. Honestly, I've thought about adding Uriah like so many times, but I only run 5 traps, but it is decent removal for the back row and it's summonable from the deck, but it's probably not worth it, to be honest with you. So I don't. It's only like every once in a while do I feel like it's needed. But, you definitely want 2 copies because Haman is better than Raviel because of the support. Mostly the Cerulean Skyfire. But, yeah, overall, the burn damage also ends up being a huge factor in some duels. But you definitely want 2 different kinds because of their Chameleon one. And it ends up working out much better. So, yeah, I've always kind of ran this little ratio. And I also have Uriah decks, and I may end up revisiting that one. Onto the Sacred Beast support count here. 2 Dark Summoning Beast, 3 Dark Beckoning, and 3 Chaos Summoning Beast. This ratio works really well for me. I also run a Foolish Burial because I also feel like it's pretty decent. It's kind of like a third copy of Dark Summoning Beast, but if you already have one in your hand, you could also send a Chaos Summoning Beast. It ends up working out with the opening of the Spirit's Gates. So I prefer running 2 of these and 1 Foolish Burial versus 3 of these. That's just my opinion. Well, I kind of just went over that, right? 2 Dark Summoning Beast, 3 Dark Beckoning Beast, and 2 Chaos Summoning Beast. Obviously very good. 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. I play 9 hand traps in this deck, which I feel like is pretty standard for any Yu-Gi-Oh deck at this point in time. Puri Res Map, and this card's nuts. Helps you search out your Dark Beckoning Beast, definitely a necessity. This really puts the whole deck together. I wouldn't be comfortable I guess you could technically play Lure of Darkness, but no, you just wouldn't do. There's not enough dark targets, right? So you need to play this card to search out your Dark Beckoning Beast. So that means you have 9 play starters in reality. Technically more, a lot more because of Pot of Prosperity. Chaos Summoning Beast by itself can be that sometimes. So yeah, I like to have these kinds of ratios. But like I said, Puri Res Map, amazing card. Probably the best application of this card in any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, from my experience. I do run 2 Foolish Burial Goods. It's like having 2 extra copies of Deck Lockdown and Cerulean Skyfire, but it could be matchup dependent depending on what your hand looks like. Deck Lockdown is always good. So technically you could play 2 extra copies, but sometimes you want one more than the other, and this card gives you the option to do that. So I know this is kind of like a weird ratio, but it works for me. And I kind of and if you draw the other one, you get to send the other one. So it's kind of cool to have one of each in your hand. So I recommend having this card. I talk about Foolish Burial Goods. Deck Lockdown is something. It's a never-ending Deck Lockdown. When it's destroyed, obviously, you're always going to have opening of the Spirit Gates. I can't think of a situation where you're not. So when this card dies, you can search during your turn after the second standby phase when it's destroyed, just to add it back to your hand. This is a Spell and Trap Negate, which is always just really, really good. It also has won me duels because of the secondary effect, where if one of your Sacred Beasts leaves the field, obviously you don't take any more battle damage. So it's cool secondary effect. Not necessary, but obviously it does have its application. 3 Opening the Spirit Gates. This card is just really, really good. It's kind of insane, actually. 2 Fallen Paradise. Your opponent's always going to get rid of one of them, so you want the other copy to search. And also, it's kind of good to search out the second copy anyways, because then you draw 2, and it's really, really good. This card is a Pot of Greed, and as we all know, Pot of Greed is a great card. 3 Infinite Impermanence along with that 9 hand trap kind of lineup there. I guess I could have put this over here too, but obviously I have my 9th hand trap. 6 through 9 is going to be the Draw and Lockbird. This could be anything else, but this is really high impact, and I try to go for as high impact as I can. I always love Infinite Permanence, no surprise to anybody, but being able to set it and maybe negate a really powerful floodgate is also a very good thing. There can be only 1. I run it 2. So, I mean, I guess you could technically drop a full, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you really like there can be only 1 that much, but you have all, you're drawing 2 cards every single turn. So, you're going to fall into this kind of stuff. And I just think Skull Drain's way more high impact. So, you're going to run this at 3 because it's off the ban list. You just have to. I basically just get rid of I used to run 1 copy of this when I was at 1 and then 2 of the other Sacred Beast card, but it's so much easier. If you just open this, you feel pretty confident you can win because the Chaos Summoning Beast and also the Dark Beckoning Beast, they're in a situation where their effects tribute themselves first and then activate, so skill drain doesn't do anything. And at the end of the day, these don't really do anything either. The burn damage could come up every once in a while, but for the most part, they're just 4,000 attack bodies that your opponent cannot target or destroy, meaning you're gonna win the duel like probably 80% of the time once you get that lock in place. And then 2, Product Prosperity. If you didn't watch the gameplay video, I recommend it. But this card is like a weird version of Called by the Grave, I like to call it. Meaning that if this gets negated, and then you just end up searching with this, you have a good chance of finding your opening Spirit Gates. You have a good chance of finding Chaos Summoning Beast. Whatever the case may be, it's very good for that. Or Skill Drain, or there can be only one. Like, Product Prosperity is very, very good in this deck. Onto the extra deck. It's really, really not that important. Honestly, a lot of these cards are really wonky, I'll be honest with you, but you're going to be banishing them most of the time with Product Prosperity, but there's some application, like, Super Dreadnought package here is pretty good because these are both, 10s, and then, this lets you pop a card in a desperate situation. I've never used this, but, Zeus, like, that could be probably the biggest application I can think of. And, if you have both these on the board and then you really need to clear their field, you still have another copy of them on to be able to go into afterwards. Access Code Talker, Nightmare Package, like this is pretty standard for sure. You are able to get bodies on the board, right? Because you can normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast, you get an extra normal summon, you get an extra like summon out from whatever with the opening of the Spirit's Gate. So you're gonna be able to go into Force fairly frequently. IP Masquerena, like I'd probably take this out, like and put something else in. A couple of Amirage so that you can go through the Dark Beckoning Beast combo a couple times. Underclock Taker, this one is like probably the most important here, and that's Penstag. It's obviously pretty decent. Power Code Talker and then Transcode Talker. Like this negates an effect. This brings something back, so you get a lot of bodies. It helps you go into Access Code Talker and have it be really big, like that kind of thing. But the extra deck, I guess, is much more flexible than what I've seen it. The 2 I would really recommend is Underclock Taker and the Penstag. Penstag more than anything. Oh, and if I actually recommend going into the gameplay video. I had a question about. This card also does piercing battle damage. I don't understand why. Someone in the comment section cleared that up in the gameplay video. It's pinned to the top of the comment section, so yeah, definitely go look at that. So if you don't understand it, because I didn't before that guy had commented. Onto the side deck. It's okay. A couple of these I think are necessary. Like Artifact Lancey, I feel like it's always a must. Like it's too good to be able to lock your opponent out of like one part of the game. Dark Rule No More, because you're not going to be attacking for game anyways, so like Dark Rule No More does nothing like at all against you. Dimensional Barrier, absolutely would recommend. This card is just too good. Solemn Judgment, I always take out. Whatever the case may be, the Ash, the Draw and Lockbird, or the Infinite Impermanence, whatever is the least important in your matchup, you always want to have 3 Solemn Judgment to protect your back row. And then 3 Lightning Storm. You could have Nibiru in here, I suppose, maybe take out the Lightning Storms, or maybe take out the Dark Rule No More, but I'm happy with what I have here for the most part. But yeah, that's a deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. And I think I mentioned this, but just in case, this is the TCG list, of course. I will be doing a Master Duel version of Sacred Beast. It's probably going to be a very similar list, but the only addition, or the only extra addition, will be Max C. But we'll take a look, in a bit. But other than that, it's going to do it for today's video. But yeah, this is the TCG list, and I'll see you guys next time.